Next up, how can I evangelize experimentation? You can summarize the stakeholders in your company in this pyramid: execs, managers, and individual contributors. Now, depending on how your company functions, you might want to go top down or bottoms up. Let's dig into all of these stakeholders and see what strategies can work. Individual contributors want to produce high quality results by contributing to team projects in an efficient manner. Some strategies that I've seen work with them: first and foremost, build great documentation. This is something which is underappreciated, not used as much. Building great documentation, treat documentation as a product. Help remove execution barriers, don't unblock them as much as possible. Stripe is a great example of what amazing documentation looks like. Secondly, there are people out there who want to learn about your platform, who want to become a part of your fan club. Give them the means to do that. Build educational programs. Education is a very, very powerful tool that you can use to educate people on the pros and cons of your platform. Third, build me a Bunsen and break me a Bunsen. These were engineering-led sessions, which I think did an excellent job in evangelizing experimentation at Yelp. This was essentially where we would invite external engineers to do a one-on-one system design exercise with my team, engineers on the Bunsen team, for two different kinds of sessions. One would be a build me a Bunsen, where we would do an exercise around how you could integrate your tech stack onto Bunsen and help you understand how easy or difficult it was for you. Or the other was a break me a Bunsen. This was for people who thought that Bunsen had vulnerabilities or could not satisfy all their needs. This would help us proactively work with external teams and identify what was missing and start building that early on. And finally, establish a support function, regular office hours and buddy programs. We started a buddy program where we partnered Bunsen engineers with teams who were creating their first experiment on top of Bunsen to make their process easy. Managers. Managers want to empower the team by setting clear priorities, removing execution barriers, and coaching ICs. Establish a dialogue with them early on. Conduct one-on-ones. If your company has grown beyond a point where you can do one-on-ones with all of them, set up an experimentation council. That's an approach that I followed, where I picked up managers from all over the company, which represented their org. We would meet monthly to where I would get feedback for them, tell them about where the experimentation program is headed, and this also helped them feel like their voice was heard. And when you pitch to managers, showcase wins from other teams and show them time to value. Managers are always very, very concerned about execution barriers. If you can convince them that your platform adds value to that, you can get that team onto the platform. So you can do a weekly or monthly experimentation newsletter in the company, which there's an asynchronous means of communication, which helps people stay in the loop and know where your program is headed. And finally, execs. Execs want to drive multiple teams to meet and exceed challenging targets. Align with their strategic goals. Understand what is their vision for the product, what is the vision for their organization. This will allow you to translate to relatable benefits such as person hours saved. Also showcase what value the platform will unlock for them. When you talk to execs, it's often about translating the technical benefits into the non-technical benefits. They're more concerned about the bottom line and come from a position of greater context. Be empathetic to that fact. Depending on the size of your company, you can do a weekly, monthly, or quarterly experimentation review. At Yelp, we did a quarterly experimentation review where I would present the stats of the experimentation program to the execs quarterly. And finally, provide exec visibility into what they care about the most at a company or and team level. One such example is this dashboard. I've blurred out the names of the teams. This dashboard essentially shows a trend line of experimentation happening at a team level. This almost gamified the process. This was a dashboard that execs looked at very, very regularly. This was for them to see how many experiments was every team conducting, and if you could map that to the quarterly impact that the team had had. And we did actually find out that the teams that were conducting more experiments were performing much better, and their metrics were improving by significantly better than other teams.